In this video, we will see how we can break the singleton behavior of a class and how we can prevent it. So there are total three ways through which we can break the singleton behavior of a particular class. Actually, a singleton class is a class which will produce only one object per class. And if it creates more than one object, then we can say that that particular class is not a singleton class. So three ways to break the singleton class. So the first way is by using the clonable interface. Now suppose there is one business class in your application and we will just name that class as a business class, and this class implements the clonable interface, and we are just overriding the clone method. Okay, now suppose this lazy singleton class has to extend this business class. So what will happen? So we will just extend this business class. Now we will see how this clonable interface will break the singleton behavior of this lazy singleton class. So for that we will go to this test.java. Here we have created one object of this lazy singleton class. Now by using the clone we will create one more object by using this instance one only. So how we will do is, so we will just use this lazy singleton and we will just name the second object as instance2 and instance1 dot clone. Okay, and we will just okay. Now if we try to print the hash code of this instance2 object, so okay, let's run the program. Yeah, so if you could see, it is returning two hash code. That means two objects are getting created. That means the singleton behavior of this lazy singleton class is getting break, right? So now we will see how we can prevent this. So to prevent this, what we will do is we will just override this clone method of this clonable interface, and here we will just return an exception clone not supported. Okay, yeah, so here we are just returning this clone not supported exception. So when I will try to run the program again after overriding that method, so if you could see, we are getting the exception here that is saying clone not supported. So what will happen whenever here we will be calling this clone method, it will go to this and it will throw this exception, right? So this is how we can prevent our singleton class to get break by using the clonable interface. So now we will move on to the second way through which we can break the singleton behavior of a class. So that way is called the reflection. Okay. So what will happen through this reflection? We are going to access this private constructor of a class and we will create the new instance by using this private constructor. So now we will see how we can access the private constructor by using the reflection. So for that we will go to test.java and I will just comment this code. So here if you could see, I am using this constructor array and this is how we can get the constructor array, and inside this I am just changing the accessibility to true. Through this we will be able to access the private constructor and we are creating the new instance. So now let's run the program. Here I am just uh, printing the hash code of this new object which we have created. So now let's run the program. So if you could see, we are getting the two hash code. That means two objects are getting created and our singleton behavior is failing, right? So this is how we can break the singleton class by using the reflection, okay, by accessing the private constructor of a class by using reflection. So now we will see how we can prevent this breakage. So to prevent this, what we will do is we will go to the parent class, I mean the lazy singleton class. Here inside this private constructor, what we are going to do is we will first check if instance, I mean the object is not equal to null, then throw an exception called illegal argument exception. Okay, and now we will try to run the program. What will happen? So here if you could see, it has, I mean till here it is working fine, right? And after that whenever we are trying to access the private constructor of a class and we are getting this exception. So this is the second way in which we can break and prevent the singleton behavior. So now we will move on to the third way. So the third way is by using the deserialization. Okay, so many of the applications use this serialization and deserialization, right? So while deserializing, a new object gets created and that will break the singleton behavior of this particular class. So now we will see how we can use this deserialization to break the singleton behavior. So for that I will just comment this code. So here I have added some code. Let me explain what exactly it does is. So here it does the serialization and here it does the deserialization, and here we are creating the second object, right? And here we are just printing the hash code. Okay, now let's run the program and see what will happen. But before that, we need to make sure that our class implements this serializable interface. Okay. So here our class is implementing the serializable interface. Now let's run the program and see what will happen. And yeah, here if you could see, we are getting the two hash code. That means two objects are getting created and singleton behavior is getting break. So now we will see how we can prevent this. Actually, there is one method called read resolve method which gets invoked while deserialization. Okay. So we will do one thing in read resolve method. Instead of deserialization, we will return the same instance. Okay. So for that, we will go to this lazy singleton class, and here we will just override this read resolve method. So here is our read resolve method, and from here we will just return the instance, same instance. Okay. So yes, and here we will just say it returns the object. Okay. So now just let me just run the program. So yeah, here if you could see, it is returning the same hash code. That means a single object is getting created and the singleton behavior is still there. So this is how we can break the singleton behavior and prevent the breakage by using this deserialization. So in this video, this much only. If you like the video, please do subscribe to the channel. Thank you.